Distinguished representatives of Spanish universities, Filipino students, and colleagues from the European Union delegation. It is a great pleasure to welcome you all to our booth, Embassy of Spain in Manila, CEPIE at the European Higher Education Fair 2021, organized by the European Union delegation here in the Philippines. This year again, due to the unprecedented and ongoing circumstances that we are enduring due to the pandemic, the fair is taking place again digitally, a fact that, though its positive aspects. On one hand, a larger number of Filipino students from all over the country will be able to participate thanks to the online format. In the past, those living outside of Manila had to travel here to take part with the logistic difficulties that entailed. On the other hand, a greater number of European and Spanish universities will be able to take part in this edition as distance and travel cost was always a pitfall for them. Once more, in this edition, Filipino students will be able to discover the outstanding quality and offer that Spanish universities embrace. Representatives from public, private, or business schools from different parts of Spain will be joining us today to show, your, to show you their excellence. Studying in Spain is a life-changing experience and an unbeatable choice, let me say. This fact is not just an opinion of this ambassador who is addressing you, but rather the firm belief of many international students throughout the years. In 2019, just before the pandemic outbreak, Spain received more than 120,000 international students from all over the world and ranked first at European level in terms of Erasmus students that choose Spain for study. In 2019, we welcomed more than 50,000 Erasmus students only. A great interest for our country that we perceived in Philippine students as well, with an increasing demand to study year by year. In our country, Filipino students will feel at home, thanks to many centuries of common history and cultural heritage that we share. In Spain, not only you will enjoy one of the best standards of living in Europe, but also you will feel safe. Spain is one of the safest countries of the European Union. Besides, neither the language nor the cost should be a problem. Spanish universities have more than 80 undergrads and postgrads programs in English and have good offer for all pockets with a wide range of academic fees. We are aware that COVID-19 might be one of your main worries while thinking of studying abroad. But let me explain you the effort that Spain is making to preserve the health and safety for all students while preserving the academic excellence. Our COVID fund allocated last year only more than 400 million euros to Spanish universities so they could take the necessary measures to implement health regulations that are required to adapt their programs to an online format in those places where teaching was temporarily carried out online or in a hybrid format. Another concept that you might have could be the entrance in Spain, working while studying and staying in the country after you finish your studies. In relation to traveling to Spain, according to our current regulations, the students can travel to Spain with a national student visa for studies that last over 3 months without no problem, despite the restrictions for other type of travelers that are affected by the immigration restrictions due to the pandemic. Working part-time while studying is also possible, according to our regulations. Students can work to a maximum of 20 hours per week during the academic terms, and they can work full time during holiday period. Another great piece of news that is that after finishing a postgraduate program, a Filipino student can legally stay in Spain for another year to find a job if they wish to do so without the need to travel back to the Philippines again to apply for a work permit visa at our consulate. I think this is an interesting advantage we have to take into account. Our Ministry of Education, together with all autonomous regions, have created a website where you can check in real time whether you can find updated information of all the health measures that have been adopted. In those cases, when teaching was carried out digitally, the ANECA, our National Agency for Assessment of the Academic Programs, monitors the program of all universities to guarantee the compliance in terms of quality and excellence. In these trying times and in our fight against COVID, we believe that education is an essential element against the isolation that COVID-19 has brought us, and is something that we are carefully taking care of. Last but not least, I would like to say thank you to the European Union delegation in Manila for making possible the fair this year, and thank you to CEPIE and all Spanish universities for joining us as well. We hope you will enjoy the great academic offer that we are bringing to you. Maraming salamat po. Muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your words. Now let me introduce myself. I am Beatriz Jimeno, and I am working in the Spanish Embassy as an education advisor. But today I have brought a special expert in education for you, and her name is Miss Patricia Onieva. She is in Spain, and she works in the CEPIE as an Asian manager. So we are going to listen to her presentation, but first I want to ask you if you have any questions, please write them in the chat, and when Ms. Onieva finishes, we will try to answer them. Okay, so Patricia, are you ready?
I am. I'm ready. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Beatriz. I'm streaming from Madrid. Here's morning right now, and I'm very glad to be here and sharing with you some insights about the Spanish educational system. I'm going to share the screen to show you my presentation. Just 1 minute. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So let's start. As Beatriz said, I work for the Spanish Service for the Internationalization of Education. And today I'm going to give you some features about how studying in Spain, why you should choose our country as your study destination, some characteristics about the Spanish university system, and some other information, useful information if you are thinking about studying abroad. So the contents of my presentation are going to be the Spanish Service for the Internationalization of Education. First of all, very briefly, as I said, some characteristics about higher education in Spain and some reasons why study in Spain. Our institution. We are the national agency for the Erasmus Plus program. That means the national agency. That means that we promote, manage, and develop impact studies of the Erasmus Plus programs. But other than that, we also plan and design different actions to contribute to a greater internationalization of our university system. We manage European and international programs and initiatives in the fields of education and academic training. Some services of our unit, the internationalization of the Spanish higher education unit are to develop promotion and communication actions, as I said, manage mobility programs, and offer orientation on the university system. So if you're interested, other than hearing this presentation, you can contact us whether you have doubts about the Spanish university system or scholarships or other queries. But if you're an educational manager, for example, you may know that we also foster institutional cooperation. CEPIE promotes university partnerships between Spanish and Asian higher education institutions, such as the assignment of Erasmus Plus agreements or bilateral agreements, or we promote joint and double degrees or other kinds of mobilities, for example, mobilities of staff, mobilities of teachers or professors. So how, to the point, how is the higher education in Spain? How is the system here? Well, the system is integrated by 87 universities. 50 of them are public and 37 are private. These 87 universities are distributed in 232 university campuses, out of which 21 are campus of international excellence. So public universities are founded and funded by the states, and the different regional governments, which are called here in Spain autonomous communities, approve their fees. So you may find that the fees at public universities vary from one region to another. As the ambassador said, you will find that some regions like Madrid or Barcelona, or sorry, like Andalusia or Galicia, they subsidize the tuition fees, even to international students. So later on, I will come on detail on this issue, but you will find that fees are very low compared to other European countries. 37 universities that are private. They are founded and funded mostly by private enterprises, and their enrollment costs are established by the universities themselves according to market prices. So here's a map of Spain. You see here the distribution of the different Spanish universities. The different colors are the 17 regions, the autonomous communities, and all the universities listed here, all private and public, online and on-site universities. You see that a lot of them are concentrated in Madrid and in Barcelona, but we of course have also other universities in other regions. So this is very interesting to know, I think. Spain is part of the European higher education area. You see here in blue, this area. This area is integrated by 48 countries. So this means that if you come to Spain to study and you obtain a bachelor's degree here or a master's degree or PhD degree, this degree will be very easily recognized in the other 47 countries. Those 48 countries are not only those of the European Union, as you can see in the map, but also this area is integrated by other countries such as Russia, for example, or Turkey or Switzerland. So what it's like, or what are the features of the European higher education area? The qualifications in this area and in Spain are divided into bachelor's degree, master's degree, and PhD degrees. Here in Spain, bachelor's degree lasts or have a duration of 4 or 5 years, while master's degree have a duration of 1 or 2 years, or PhD have a duration of 3 to 5 years. The system is structured in credits. We use the European credit transfer system, and 1 credit equals more or less 25 to 30 work hours. And if you come to Spain and, for example, pursue a master's degree, you will have 60 credits for 1 year. On the right, you can see the 5 different knowledge areas in which the system is divided, the general areas. So we've got degrees. We have a bachelor's degree, we've got master's degree, we've got PhD. For example, in bachelor's degree, you are going to be able to choose among more than 2,800 bachelor's degree. Lots of them, more than 600 of them of bachelor's degree are offered partially or totally in English. If you do not a word of Spanish, then you can choose among 94 bachelor's degree completely offered in English, and more than 200 master's degree offered in English also. So I'm going to focus on which are the requirements to enter a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. Okay, should you be interested in entering a bachelor's degree, then you can contact us, and we can offer you further information. So if you're interested into a master's in a master's degree, we have two types of them. We have official master's degree that qualifies students for the exercise of a regulated profession, for example, law. And then we have other master's degree that they are called research master's degree that allows students to complete a PhD program. To enter an official master's degree, you will need to provide the university, basically your photocopy of your bachelor's degree, your previous, the one you have obtained before, your academic record, and you will have to prove also that you have at least a B2 level of Spanish if you choose a program in Spanish. And all these documents must be duly legalized, and they will give you further information at the Spanish Embassy in Manila. These are, as I say, the basic requirements, but what we suggest is that you first look for your master's degree, and once you choose it, and you can contact the university to ask them about further requirements. These are the basic ones. So which are the requirements to enter a PhD program? Well, you will need to provide, again, proof of your previous studies. So you will need to provide a copy of your bachelor's degree or equivalent, a copy of your master's degree or a comparable study, and academic records of both previous degrees, duly legalized all documents. Here in Spain, PhD programs are focused in research. You don't receive courses as usual, as you will receive at the master level or at the bachelor's level. So that is why you will see now the reason why to study a PhD, it's for example in Spain at public universities, it's very, very cheap because it's subsidized and you don't receive courses, but just do research. How much does it cost to study in Spain? Well, you have here a range between 700 and 8,000 euros per year at the bachelor's level at public universities. If you choose private universities and you want to pursue a bachelor degree, then you will have to pay between 5,000 to 21,000 euros per year. While master's degree at public universities, you will find from 800 euros to 19,000 euros. This, as I mentioned before, doesn't mean that is cheap because the university is bad or so. It's because the state, as I said, subsidized tuition fees, both for local and international students in some regions, okay? Master's degree, again, at private universities range from 5,000 euros to 10,000 euros per year. So let's say you have made up your mind and you want to come to Spain. Where should you start? Steps. First of all, as I said, we suggest that you search for your program in Spanish or English. In our website, we have two search engines that you can see here. You can scan this QR code and it will take you directly to the Kedu, which is the search engine for Spanish programs. And it will take you also to the English.programs search engine. So I'm going to give you some reasons why you should choose Spain as your study destination. Why study in Spain if you're thinking about studying abroad? Well, some reasons here. First of all, Spain has a very high standard of living. You can check that with other international institutions. We're not the ones that say it, but also others say that. Spanish language, it's a very important language in the world. I'll give you some details later. We have a very cultural and geographic diversity and richness. Also English programs, as I mentioned, quite flexible visa policy, and we are cut edge in innovation and technology. As the ambassador mentioned, more than 129,000 international students chose us in 2019 to come to us as their study destination. You can see here in this chart, the figures have been going up steadily from 1996. So this is a proof that we are a good choice. Other reasons, if you come to Spain as a student, of course, you will be able to go around as a tourist, and you will see very worldwide renowned sites. Spain is positioned number 3 worldwide and number 2 in Europe, with a major number of sites declared as World Heritage Sites. You know, Spain has a population, I didn't mention this before, but Spain has a population of 46 million people, more or less. In 2019, we received more than 83 million people that came to Spain as tourists. So we almost double our population in number of tourists received in 2019. So we're a very popular country in tourism. Third country in the world in tourist arrivals and revenues, second country in the world in number of hotel beds, and fourth world destination of international congresses and meetings. Also, as I mentioned, very cutting edge in innovation and technology. If you're thinking about studying something related to biochemistry or molecular biology, for example, you may know that Spain is 5th in the world in this area, or 2nd in the world and 9th, 2nd in Europe and 9 in the world in automobile production. Those are some examples of our position. Regarding Spanish, you may say, well, I do not speak Spanish. Then we can tell you, okay, you can choose an English program, okay? And while you're in Spain, you can learn Spanish, and that will open a lot of doors in your professional career, because Spanish is the 2nd language in the world by number of speakers. It is spoken in 23 countries in the world. And it's also the 2nd language of international communication. You know, it is foreseen, for example, that in 2060, United States will be the 2nd Spanish-speaking country in the world. It's a language that has been increasing year by year, the number of speakers that it has. And in 2050, it is also foreseen that over 754 million people will speak Spanish around the world. What about if Spain is a safe country? Maybe some parents are checking or watching this presentation and they're asking themselves that. Well, according to Eurostat, which is the European Union Statistics Institute, Spain is the safest country in Europe. You can see here in this chart that has the lowest homicide rate in the European Union. This is a list of 35 countries. Spain ranks number 30, at the bottom, with the lowest rate of homicides. Has a lowest rate of homicides also in Norway, Switzerland, and Ireland, but it's very cold. I don't recommend them. Okay, what about quality of the universities in Spain? We're doing quite well in world rankings. If you have heard about the Shanghai ranking, which is called here ARWU, with the this name. You will find that 13 Spanish universities are positioned in the top 50 of the best in the world, and we've got 38 universities in the top 500. There's another ranking, very known here in Europe, that it's called QS ranking, and that ranks the 50 best in the world under 50 years old. In that ranking, Spain is position number 1 Europe and number 2 in the world, according to this ranking. Okay, more further information. How much does it cost to live in Spain? I have talked about how much does it cost to study in Spain, but how much will I need to live in Spain as a student? You see, as in every part of the world, if you choose some cities, it will be more expensive. If you choose another cities, it will be cheaper. So Madrid, Barcelona in Spain are a little bit more expensive than other cities. And if you choose them as your study destination, you will need at least 54,000 Philippine pesos to 65,000 Philippine pesos per month. And if you choose other cities like in the south or in the north, like Andalusia, Granada, Sevilla, or Santiago, I don't know, Valencia, then you will need from 36,000 Philippine pesos to 48,000 Philippine pesos per month. And the ambassador mentioned this before, but another questions that we receive very frequently is, can I work in Spain while I'm a student? The answer is yes. You can work part-time during your studies. And then there's a there's a residence permit that you can ask for when you graduate here in Spain, and that will let you stay in our country for 1 year for job search. Other than that, you can search for a job, or you can how do you say, you can start a business also. This residence permit allows you to do that also. So that would be all. Thank you very much for your interest in Spain. I hope I have convinced you a little bit to come to our country to study, whether a short course or a long-term course, a master degree or a PhD. I think we have some questions at the chat that we're going to answer if we have time. Beatriz, do we still have time?
I think we have a few minutes.
Okay.
Patricia, I don't know about our audience, but you convinced me to go to Spain. Thank you. Question 1, what is the best scholarship to take for THEU universities under masters in maritime law? I think maybe they should ask that to THEU universities. Do you know anything about this, Patricia?
Well, I don't know exactly about the THEU scholarship programs, but yes, I agree. If they are present in the fair, I think they should address them to ask them, because we don't have detailed information about scholarship programs of our universities. They vary a lot from one to another. What I can say in general is that could you silence the microphone, please?
3
Sorry.
minutes left.
Okay.
3 minutes left.
What I can say in general is that most universities have tuition scholarships that they will allow you to pay less or not to pay anything regarding tuition fees. But you can check with each university. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Patricia. I'm sure that THEU universities are present in this fair, so it's easier to ask them directly. And I don't know if we have time for the second question. Mr. Sanchez earlier stated that our website had been created with real-time updates concerning educational opportunities in Spain. Can we get a link to that website?
Which website, sorry? The CEPIES website?
Well, it doesn't say. I think there is a website has been created with real-time updates. I think it must
regarding
be regarding
COVID-19 or?
No, regarding educational opportunities in Spain.
Well, here's our website. You can see here. CEPIE.es. You can see here we have a search engine for scholarships also. You can check that if you want. I think if he refers to opportunities, he might be talking about scholarships to come to Spain. We have a search engine. I didn't mention that, sorry, but we have a search engine in our website that they can check for scholarships to come to Spain as international students. I think we don't have time for more. I'm sorry about that, but you have our contact details here also, email address or social networks. You can contact us either one way or another, and we will be very, very glad to answer all your queries. Thank you again. Thank you, Beatriz, for inviting me, and hope to see you soon all in Spain.
Thanks to you, Patricia. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.
My pleasure.